Namaste, guys. Hello, how are you? Happy Tuesday, Mercury's Day. Um, I want to try and explain something to you. Now, I don't know right away who was giving me this energy, okay? I'm sure they'll tell me. I'm just anointing myself with my anointing oil, okay? uh, so, I'm going to try to explain something to you, okay? To help you release. Let me clear my space. Okay, so this message was coming through. It brought my awareness back to when I used to study Carl Jung about 7 years ago. And it had me remember a certain, well, it was two quotes that Carl Jung said. First was, it was about in the mind of God. And then the other one was about how Jesus is a representation of God realizing his flaws or its flaws. And so I'm going to, ask you all to do some homework for yourselves so you can gain your own understanding of that, your own realization of that, right? And so I'm going to read this to you because the way that it came in to me will help, is going to help me break this down into terms to where you can understand it, to where you don't have to psychologically wreck your mind around this message, okay? This moon is all about releasing, and you're going to be releasing a lot of heavy things, okay? And so that's why I'm going to attempt to deliver this message as best as I can to help you further release the heaviness that is on you. And if you're not ready right now to release, that means that the energy needs to further be explained to you, okay? And so Carl Jung, okay, proposes that experiencing reality as the observer means shifting from being governed by the unconscious to becoming a conscious witness, thereby reducing projection and accepting life dualities. By adopting this stance, individuals stop forcing their will on life, instead observing their thoughts and in turn their inner authentic selves, right? Now we have a few perspectives here, but this is the one that really stands out to me. Okay, the neutral observation. Rather than judging, the observer merely watches thoughts, emotional, and external events, right? Acceptance of reality. By moving away from how one want things to be, and instead of accepting them as they are, or gains a deeper insight and paradoxically a greater control over their life, right? Integration, the individualization, right? The individuation, sorry. The goal is to make the unconscious conscious, to stop it from dictating one fate, right? Now, the message that came through was, so consider yourself this, right? Consider your past actions as something that you did according to the ego, right? So if you made an action or a movement or did something out in this physical reality, right? It was according to the ego, what the ego felt it lacked or what the ego felt it needed, right? And so consider yourself as the awareness, right? But from the perspective of your ego, your internal state, right? Everything internal to you happening, right? And is producing itself in your outside reality, right? You don't have to do anything. It's like you're under the spell that you are moving in this outside reality because the sense of I, because the sense of claiming, right? Because you're claiming yourself to be something separate from the all, right? And so when a lot of times I say your body is in the spirit, you are in the spirit, right? You are within God, right? And what I mean by that is you are the imagination of God. And all of your outside reality, your steps, the things that you do in your outside reality has already been done because it's been done internally already. And all you have to do is just go about your day and just let it play out the way that it plays out, right? And it plays out the way that it plays out because it already had been done internally. You already experienced it internally, right? It happened already internally. You're just moving about in reality, right? And so if you are met with resistance in your outside reality, in your environment, is because there is an internal resistance, right? And your subconscious, those are the things you're not aware of, right? It is trying to work out things internally within you, and you're not aware of it, right? And so it manifests in your outside reality so that you can become aware of it, right? And while all of this is happening, where is the you, right? The super I, the super S, the super consciousness, right? The super conscious. You are the one that's witnessing it. You are the one that's observing it. All of that other inner talk, inner chatter, it only tries to dictate. It only tries to explain it's happening, it's environmental happening, right? It tries to explain what is happening, right? But it can't really explain it. It just, the only reason you are explaining it is because the things that you've experienced in life, right? And so you're putting words to meanings. You're putting words to symbols, right? You're matching them so that your brain, right, can make sense, right, of the happening in the outside reality, right? And so there is no you that is doing any of this. There is only the observer that is watching you, right? Go about your day. The observer is quiet. It is just witnessing, right? It is just there, holding space, right? It is the space holder in which you carry out your activities externally, just as it is internally on earth as it is in heaven, right? It's the same, right? And so if you are having a hard time releasing heavy energy, okay, if you made an action in this physical reality, that is only due to your internal self, some subconscious space within you, right? let's just use lack, right? And subconsciously, you are experiencing lack as not enough money, right? And so you do things, right, in your external reality to try and replicate what the internal lack perceives it's missing. It feels like it's missing money, but what is actually missing, right, is the realization that it is love, it is abundant itself. It doesn't know that it is pure abundance. It doesn't know that it is pure love. We can even say this about love, right? If you, in this physical reality, looking for love, that's because subconsciously something within you is looking for love, right? And you will go about this physical reality looking for love, right? I hope that makes sense. So that should be able to help you forgive yourselves for some actions that you could have taken in this physical reality, right? Now, I'm not talking, look, let's get something understood, because I know when people hear this video, they're going to try to make it to be something that, to change it and flip it and smack it up and rub it down and do all types of shit with this video. That is not the purpose of this video. My video is for awakening. It's never for offense, right? Yes, it can explain the human behavior. Yes, all things can explain the human behavior. A lot of times human behavior is only the things that is internally that is going on with them. And it is reflecting in the outside reality, right? I'm saying this to say you are blameless. What resides inside of you is blameless. It is only the persona that is perceiving itself to be something is taking offense or holding it personal or is relating to it, right? What resides inside of you is ageless, is timeless, is priceless. It is beauty, right? And so the Francis of Assisi prayer, right? It says, grant me the understanding like Ascended Master Yeshua to forgive, to accept and forgive his physical reality, right? Because he know that things that happen in the outside reality, he can't do anything about, because it already has been manifested internally within someone, right? So that's why he's able to give acceptance and to give love and to extend forgiveness to the masses, right? Because he has a deeper understanding that this has already happened internally to this particular person, right? And so it's not like this person is offended with me. This person is offended with themselves. And I just so happen, the innocent, right, to show up in this outside reality for it to offend me. But remember, offend is a word. It doesn't even really mean anything. None of these words mean anything, right? And so you are tearing down, relational words. You are removing yourself from things that appear to be happening that you have control over, right? You are interfering with fate, right? Your fate is already beautifully mapped. But because you have that inner talk that is dictating everything that you do, it is making you do something different than what it is you desire or want to do. It is stopping you from living your fullest and your best life, right? And so when you able to come to the terms with that, like if you're having a hard time forgiving yourself for something, please realize and understand you have to forgive the inner version of you that is beating up on itself. You are producing things externally to you that vibrate with you. And if you are beating up on your innocent self, guess what? You're going to produce an innocent person in your outside reality for you to beat up on. Do that make sense? And so when you hear all of this mumbo jumbo coming up talking, right? Especially when you're going throughout your day, especially when you're trying to release yourselves from your past life grip or your past versions of you, you're able to forgive yourself in a way that it gets you off the karmic chain, okay? And so when I put on, I think I spoke to a young lady who commented, I told her to listen to Francis, the Serenity Prayer. I don't know if it's Francis of Assisi, I'm not sure, but the Serenity Prayer. It helps you to psychologically unbind yourselves from the actions, perceived actions of the human, because there is no human, right? You are in the mind of God, perceiving yourself to be separate. It is the version of you, right, that was invented by others. It is it's the program that went rogue. I don't know how else to say that. It's just the program that went rogue. I hope you're able to understand this. Okay, I hope you're able to open up your mind. Okay, that's why I say listen to Francis. Listen to the Serenity Prayer, because it will grant you the serenity. Listen, things that you cannot change, okay, peace with that. The things that you can change, courage, right? You cannot change the past because it happened. Your physical reality is already manifesting because you're already producing it internally, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay, I really do, because this message is to help you, okay, get off of, release you from your past. All of my videos are timeless, okay? This is for whenever you are ready to receive it. I'm just gonna pull my energy. Jesus, Spirit. Oh my goodness. To see who's with me, okay? To see what else energy they want me to talk about, I'm hearing. My Lord. Y'all know this don't hardly happen like this. It's a lot of energy. But I really want to know who's with me, okay? Circle of eternal joy. That's the bottom of the deck energy, right? So y'all know I got to put this into number order. So they want me to talk about, I think what I was just talking about is just kind of confirming what I was saying, the portal. Okay, this will help you get through this portal at this time. This is my energy. This is the message that infinite mind, awakening consciousness. I am not surprised by this, okay? Because whoever I was speaking to, they just made it so clear to me, so apparent to me. This could have been my higher self. I don't know. This could have been angels, ancestors. I don't know. But it just became so apparent to me. I was just like, oh, I get it. You know, like the things that we do in our outside reality, we only do them because, like the decisions that we make, right? The people that we choose to talk to, the people that we choose to hang around, we only do it because it already happened internally, right? And it's manifested in your outside reality so that you can see it. You can see your creation. Wow. You can see what you're creating internally, okay? And that's how you'll know what to fix, how to fix it, right? Where to fix it, when to fix it. You don't fix it in your outside reality. You fix it internally, right? When you awaken to what you're not. You are not your projections, perceptions. You're not any of that. What you are is the observer. You are witnessing, right? And this is getting you back to home. This is not to take away from your human experiences. This is for you to understand why your reality is the way that it is. It is an attempt to explain to you why why things happen in your outside reality. It's when it's pertaining to you. I'm not talking about the vast majority of everyone, right? Because the universe is so vast, just like all of the stars in the sky, right? I'm not talking about everybody around the world. I'm talking about you being individualized, right? Taking yourself off of the me that is experiencing life instead of the me that is witnessing my beautiful creation, because that's what awareness does with you. It witnesses you. And you are within it, and it is within you, right? So we have the portal, power over difficulty, reclaiming your power. Okay, this energy, right? Coming back home to you, right? Coming back home to bringing all of you home, right? All of those hurt, fragmented versions of you, right? That is associating itself with this physical, with its physical environment, because it's trying to explain itself. Remember, you had to explain. The only reason that voice was built up so that you can explain your environment when you were a child, right? Thank you. That's the reason the voice was there. That's what produced the voice. You trying to make some understanding of what was happening internally to you, right? Because all you knew, you was just being you as a kid. You didn't know you were doing anything wrong until they started saying it was wrong, right? And still to you, you didn't know, right? And then you created what? You created a persona to say, hey, don't do that, because somebody will say I'm wrong, right? And then that persona goes and navigates your outside reality, right? Believing itself to be something, believing itself to be useful to you, okay? And then we have clarity, right? Releasing, planning, illusions, loss, lack, fear, victimization, right? You're able to break free from the illusion of these four personas, right? To me, these are different personas. I don't know. I've experienced these as different personas. Victimization, I experienced it as this internal voice victimizing me for every fucking thing that I do. Not narrating, but victimizing me. Oh, if you do this, somebody's going to get you. If you do that, this is going to get you, right? I experienced this voice like that, and then I wound up meeting somebody in my outside reality, and guess what they do? Or guess what I do? Victimize them, right? You see what I'm saying? And I've experienced loss as loss, things going out of my life. And I've experienced it as like, I don't deserve to have that. I'm not worthy of that. I don't need that. My toys was taken away from me. Then you wind up what? Explaining how you give your shit away in this outside reality. How you give your energy away to thinking and ruminating about things, right? It's this energy, right? And then it's fear, right? You're afraid to do any damn thing in life. Because every time you did something as a child, there was fear placed upon you. And so now you don't follow your dreams because you're afraid. Now you don't speak up because you're afraid. And then you have this internal voice navigating your physical reality. But all you are is awareness. Remember, that internal voice was only created to explain to the inner you what happened to it, or what had happened to it. It just explains it. It doesn't, and explains it from a very small, limited space. It doesn't explain it from the truth, because it has very limited access to knowledge. It doesn't have conscious awareness to know that it doesn't even exist. It doesn't know that it is a program. It went rogue, right? And it's just sitting in your default network mode, running the show. And it's time for you to dethrone it, right? Integrate it. Witness it. Because that's what it wants. It wants to be witnessed. Because that's what you are. You are pure awareness. And so I never who's talking, when they say that inner, who's talking, ask it who's talking, that never worked for me. That never worked for me. I just became, I don't know, when I would ask that question, that just didn't work for me. Who's aware of his talking, or who is this doing the talking, right? Or, I just, that way didn't work for me. And so what worked for me was becoming aware that something else was talking inside of me and judging my every fucking move. And it was getting on my goddamn nerves. That's what made it aware and blatantly aware to me, because it started getting on my damn nerves. That's what made it aware. And so when something is, that's where my searching or wanting to figure it out, that's how I'm activated into healing things and asking the correct questions. And so that's how that worked for me. Asking it a question never worked for me. When they say who's aware of the talking, who, I just became aware when I was a kid. What is this talking within me? Huh? And I would hear it and I just would be like, what the fuck is this talking within me? Thought I was fucking crazy for a long fucking time. I'm like, oh my God, I can hear this within me. And then I can hear this within me, because that's where it felt like it was coming from. But then I can hear this internally in my heart space within me. So it was just like, I'm hearing this and I'm hearing this. What in the fuck is happening to me? But when I was a kid, I would hear this, and this is all I would listen to. And then right after my mom passed away, I started hearing this talking up here. I just started hearing this. Or this around me. And I was, what is that? What is it? And then it went away. And I didn't hear it anymore. And then right after the military is when I started hearing it again. And I thought that I'd really split a shit in the military. Then after my son passed away, and my son showed me, was like, hey, what's this? Like, it was showing me like the this that believes itself to be something, and the this that is honest, true, pure love, light. And it was showing me in relation to. And then we have opening heart, deep connections, water, blessings, and clairvoyant. So I don't know, I feel like you guys are like water scrying. Okay, you can like, oftentimes I said before, when I'm in a bath, I get a lot of information in a salt bath. Go by water to cleanse your space, okay? Look in water, okay? You guys are going to have precognition, psychic abilities, future vision, okay? Sensuality, feminine wisdom, and passion is going to be showing you what it is that you need to do, okay? As far as like, I don't know, like your creation. You're creating something new in this outside reality. Wow. That's why Spirit is trying to make sure you separate, because some information wants to come into you, right? But you're going to have to release this heaviness in order for you to maintain this lightness, okay? You see, look at her hand. Look at the light here, right? So some information is coming into you. And this will be during the new moon, right? Because the full moon is about releasing, but you're going to have to release this. And it's just brought this to my awareness. Look, I don't know if this is a picture. Look at the silent witness back there. Like, I don't know what that is, but witnessing, drinking some tea. You're going to witness yourself doing something. Because I've never paid this no attention before. And that's a lot of times how when I first started experiencing my clairvoyant, I was dreaming. True. I experienced my clairvoyant in a dream. And I knew that's how I do it. That's it. I experienced in a dream. And so now I'm aware what my clairvoyance look like, opposed to just random imaginations or thoughts just taking my mind someplace. I can see the difference, because clairvoyant, it come in very faint. It come in very fast, very faint fast. It's be like how the light flickering. That's how clairvoyance come in for me. And then it'll leave me with a feeling. And the feeling is what keeps the picture rotating until the message has been delivered, and then the image will slowly fade away. I don't know if that makes sense for somebody, but that's how I experience my clairvoyant. Okay. And then we have bright heart light, open connections, idyllic times, the garden of paradise, right? Because you're able to allow yourself to be. It's like you're going back to that Garden of Eden, right? 33 on a timer, right? It's like you're going back to that space. 48:18 could be significant. 13:38 could be significant. And it's like you're back to that space, that heart space, to where you're heart led, right? You're not mind led. It's like your heart and mind is coherent with each other. And it's like your heart is leading the way. And it's like your mind will be only focused on things of the heart, focused on things of the spirit, right? Then we have innovation, new creation, wow, and achievements, because there is something here that you guys are creating, right? Something very new. Is that the flower of life? A white buffalo. You guys are birthing something very innovative within yourself. This can be, I don't know, a new ability. Something that only you got, don't nobody else have. Because we are all unique, okay? And this is about you exploring and experiencing your uniqueness. But whatever it is, it's major because it's going to require your old life in order for you to be able to have this new life. And that's the old way of thinking, okay? The negative thinking, okay? Thinking, loss, lack, fear, and victimization. You're in that space constantly. That's going to require you to release that from you, that you are without, because you have everything you need internally. It's just that inner version of you don't know it yet. And it's up to you to keep pouring back into that space, pouring back into that whenever it starts to feel empty, whenever it starts to feel lack. That's going to be you catching it and saying, hey, we okay. Hey, I got you. We're here. You don't have to worry. We're moving forward. We don't lack anything. Constantly loving on it. Okay, that's going to allow you to go with the flow and access a lot of hidden knowledge, Akashic records, right? So this is really good energy, okay, for the collective. And I hope the way that I explain that will help you release those past versions of you, because that's what it's done to me. That's what it is doing for me. And it's been doing it for a while. I just have to keep like reminding myself of that, okay, over and over again. Like, I don't know how else to say that. Like, I understand the steps that I made in my outside reality was due to me feeling internally that something was fearful. And it was only fearful due to this explanation of this chatter. Every time my heart wanted to do something, this fearful or this lack persona, fearful persona, victimizing persona, right? I'm going to do something wrong persona. I'm not worthy persona, right? Would come up and tell me that. And then I would stop from doing it, right? And so when I did things in my outside reality that I knew was of my highest good, when I took the leap of faith to do it, right, we self-sabotage, right? Because that internal voice will often just be fucking talking and say, that ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna happen, right? And then you wind up, because you are the creator, you wind up ruining your fate, ruining what's already naturally yours. As I said, that the hermit, what's unseen is victory, right? Let me get a little bit more. I'm going to get out the energy. What's the message, Spirit? Can you elaborate with the tarot, Spirit? Thank you. So we have the Two of Wands and the King of Wands, right? The King of Wands speaks about being energetic, right? It's about like charismatic, right? Creative forces, actually going out and doing. This is like this healed divine masculine, right? The Two of Wands speaks about seeing things, seeing all possibilities, right? Thank you. It's about seeing everything. I don't know, still don't know. Oh yeah, consciousness. This where this message came from. The Two of Wands is about, you know how the cards depict you seeing everything, you seeing all possibilities. You don't see no. You see, or I can do it that way. Oh, there's another way I can get this done, right? Because you're listening to your intuition. You're following the signs and synchronicities, right? Because you already went that path internally, right? And all you have to do is just wait for it to manifest externally. That's something that happens to me in my dreams. My dreams already show me things already. And I can just go in my outside reality just out here. And I can be okay. Right? And then if it's something they showing me about me being around somebody, I know not to go my ass over there. I hope that makes sense for someone. Oh, I'll release it. My third eye is... What's that? That John Cena? You can't see me? Spirit. What is the energy? What is the energy? What is the energy? What is the energy, spirit? The Six of Cups and the Queen of Coins. Right. Look at the Temperance. Look, as I was saying this, rising up on that fool's journey. Okay, Temperance, because you're always protected. Angels are always with you, right? Guiding you and leading you the way. And then we have the Six of Coins with the Queen of Wands. You remembering what it was like to create and go get it without that inner shit, without your program, right? Something about the left-hand path could be significant, or the right-hand path could be significant. You choose, okay? I take the left-hand path. I'm an alchemist. I use Kali Ma, Shakti, Shiva, that dark energy to the Phoenix energy. Slice fucking heads of my ego. That's what I do. I don't know how else to say that. And then sometimes I'll use Kundalini energy, sexual alchemy. Well, when I was with a partner, I would use that to raise up the Kundalini, right? But now I'm just all left, okay? But when I get a mate, I will be balanced in the middle, like teetering. Not too much of the light, not too much of the dark, right? Dark, feminine, dark, divine feminine, right? Slicing off personas, right? Maybe that's something you all needed to know. Like, yeah. I'm an alchemist. That's what I do. I release personas. What else, Spirit? What else? A Two of Swords. Like two paths, okay? Ten of Wands with the Sun, okay? The Two of Wands with the Two of Swords and Ten of Wands. This is you choosing your own path, right? Because you no longer have that voice dictating which way you should go and how the fuck you should go. You're the sun, right? You're leading. You're leading the way. You're not bound by things of the past, right? And you're not bound by it psychologically anymore. You're no longer confused. As I said that, like, which path you choose, like, and then it confirms it. Because it's you. You have the power. You are everything that you will ever need. It's nothing outside of you. You don't even have to fucking listen to me. You can just go do what the fuck you want to do, right? It's that fucking simple. It really is that simple, okay? With the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, right? It's really that simple. Like, you choose. You don't have to listen to Jane, John, Paul. The only reason you listen to all of us anyway is because up here you're confused a little bit. But once you stop listening to everybody, even them fucking thoughts in your head, your path would be made available for you. 4414. That's why I say I don't really listen to a lot of people. I listen to my guides. I listen to the Most High. I listen to the Namaste Yeshua. I listen to my ancestors because they know the way forward, right? They know. They've done it before. And so we have the Seven of Coins, the Four of Coins, right? The Seven of Coins, this is about lack. Not holding on to what you built, okay? Not holding on to the old seeds you planted, I heard. You're able to let that shit go. Let it fall from you. Because Was it really something you came here to do? Is it really something your soul wants to do, right? Ask yourself them questions, right? And go the path you need to go, right? The Six of Coins. That even, right? I don't need to say nothing else. It's this energy, you being even. Okay? You don't have to, you know. But what Spirit is saying, the more you take care of your inner world, the more you'll see the evenness in your outside reality, okay? That's what Spirit is saying. That's what Spirit is saying. The Three of Cups. Look at that. The Eight of Swords and the Queen of Swords in reverse. 45-5-5. Look, victory, triumph over a wounded mother figure energy that's preventing you from doing shit, right? Your ancestors celebrating this. You removing the ass off of you, okay? Off them lower chakras, right? Remember, it's in the Master yesterday. He rode the ass. Look at that, Justice. Wow. And an Emperor. You get put back on your throne. Look at the Ten of Cups. Right? What did he ride into? I don't know if it was Jerusalem or somewhere. He rode a donkey or ass. That means his heightened self, his higher self riding on his lower self. Meaning his lower self doing the lifting, well, the carrying, meaning like taking me where I need to go, right? Because it's obedient now. It's obedient, okay? And then we're back where we started from, the Hermit, okay? And so I'm going to leave it there. I hope the message resonated. I hope, like, you can make sense of it. Like, listen to Francis Assisi. I don't know if he made that, but the Serenity Prayer. Listen to that and ask from a psychological point of view for you to understand it. You have to balance spirituality with psychology. It's going to help you stay grounded, okay? I love you all so much. And take care of yourselves. Enjoy this moon. Get in some salt water. Get by some water. Okay? Release, you know, when that energy comes up. Well, okay, thank you for being here. Release it from you, okay? And keep reminding yourself, you know, and until that energy dissipate, okay? Because it will dissipate from you. Whatever you're holding on to. Could be forgiveness. It could be lack. It can be shame. It could be fear. It can be judgment or whatever. Just release it from you, okay? And remind yourself, the reason I acted in this way in this physical reality was due to me feeling like I didn't have enough, or this manifested in my physical reality because internally I was feeling unloved, or internally I was mad at myself, right? It's that type of energy, right? You remembering that, okay? So that you can rest easy with yourself, okay? And release the past happenings of your physical reality, right? Take care. Namaste. Bye.